We chatted with the Dirty Dozen, 3 dads slinging donuts to a rabid fan base and selling out weekly. We talked about the origin of the business, favorite flavors, how to get the donuts, and what's next for the Dirty Dozen. You can find more conversations on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is Lacrosse Local.
My name is Maxwell Jaseski. I'm from La Crosse. Grew up here. I went to high school in Holman, graduated in 2012. I got into baking by just being like a kitchen worker. I started working at Drugan's Castle Mound in Holman in high school. And then after high school, went to college for a little bit and then just continued working in kitchens.
My name's Josh Damali. I'm originally from Texas, but over the years I ended up being here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, currently living in Onalaska. I've been a chef for the last 8 years, just throughout the area, the Mint, the Waterfront, Uptown Cafe for a little bit. And then I mostly focused on pastry and baking over, I'd say, the last year and a half now.
My name's Jason Blanchard. I'm originally from Kenosha, Wisconsin. I moved to the La Crosse area back in 2009, and I currently live in Onalaska. I haven't really done a whole lot of baking until this whole adventure. I do like to cook a lot. I do most of the cooking in my house. And growing up in a single family household, like I just would watch my dad cook every night, and I learned a lot from him. And doing this adventure would be a lot of fun.
So from my own background, I'm from La Crosse too. I left for a little bit, but I always remember Mr. D's donuts. So Mr. D's, for the people that aren't from here, we used to sneak out in like 7th, 8th grade and go down to Mr. D's and get 30-cent day-old donuts. And so it's just been a thing that I've just actually talked to my friends about. Why are there any donuts available that are made by a local business? It's just something that's always been in the back of my mind. Why doesn't La Crosse have this? The Dirty Dozen is made up of 3 dads. How did this concept come together? Like, how did it get started?
So one day I was just I was looking through Snapchat stories and stuff, on different food channels. And one that I always like to watch for donut ones. And then I thought about it one day when I was looking at it. I was like, man, there's not really a donut shop in La Crosse at all. And me and Josh have been trying to think through, brainstorm ideas on what we could do together in the last year. And I was one day I called him. I was like, dude, what about donuts? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do the donuts. And that's how it really became a thing. Because I'm like, if you really think about it, it's the perfect snack for any time of day.
Absolutely. So with that, what makes your donuts different? I haven't actually had them yet. Hopefully I will soon. But I know everyone's kind of infatuated with the Glazers around town or local places like Fazy's. What makes these donuts different?
I think the thing that makes our donuts stand out the most is the fact that we don't mess around with a lot of different styles of donut. We really focus in on doing a brioche style donut, which for those who don't know what a brioche style is, I would say it's very similar to a glazer, but we wanted to make sure that the dough itself had the most care and attention put into it, that with an amazing donut, plain by itself, it doesn't matter what you're going to put on it. It's going to end up being an amazing donut. And from there, we've just kind of sprung forward we started with just the classic glazes, and then we started to get a little more funky, and now we're just kind of riding the train and seeing where it takes us.
So how has the response to your donuts been so far? I see a little social media discussion, people actually panicking to find out where these donuts are from. Do they go to a parking lot in Alaska somewhere and someone just brings donuts? It seems like really kind of an exciting venture to get these rascally donuts out there. How has the response been?
I would say that the response has been way better than I would say even we expected it. Our very first sale, I think we had 40 people, show up. All of our orders are based on pre-sale, so that way we don't make more than we need to. It was just crazy. I mean, our very first sale, we did it out of our kitchen with 2 cast iron pans, and people were showing up and we were putting them in the box as they were coming out of the fryer. So it was really hectic. Since then, we've definitely nailed it down to a science. But yeah, people love them. And we are just so humbled by the fact that when we put a post up for pre-orders, we sell out in less than 8 hours, and we're selling over 400 donuts every time.
To add to Josh too, it's the response, has definitely been humbling and overwhelming, because I work at Zoomies and I wear my Dirty Dozen shirt there, and people are like, dude, where'd you get that shirt from? I'm like, oh, I own that, like, with my buddies. And they're like, dude, every time I try to order your donuts, they're gone. I'm like, yeah, it goes out every Monday. You just gotta, or every other Monday of the month, and you just gotta wait for that pre-order. So having people come in, even I've never seen before, and they're like, to me, that's why the response has been so overwhelming. So I'm like, yeah, the support is great.
Can you clarify, how do you get the donuts? Do you do it through Instagram? Like, I couldn't figure it out. That's why I think people were panicking. How do you order them?
So yeah, initially we started it only on Instagram, but now we have an Instagram and a Facebook page you can follow us on, simply titled The Dirty Dozen. Basically every other Monday around like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll put out the post for what the flavors are going to be that week. And then you can either comment directly on our posts or send us a direct message, and we'll make sure you get your donuts.
It's kind of a race to that 400 donuts. It's a fun way.
The race to the 400 donuts. That's awesome.
I think the quickest we've ever sold out was in 15 minutes.
Wow. A lot of people going after them. Seems like people are really excited about it. What's next for you guys? I'm sure you didn't expect COVID to hit, but, what's next for the Dirty Dozen?
I would say next is we're going to be getting some licenses in place so we can actually start doing some pop-ups through third-party venues, I guess you would say. We have a friend who has a spot downtown, and they're not open on Sundays, which is our day for sales. And so they offered for us to take over their spots on Sunday.
Nice. Before COVID, about a year ago, I went to California, and I've always been really excited about California just because of the food there. And I actually have a Facebook post when I got back, and I was saying, La Crosse needs a donut shop, and they also need a place where you get handheld burritos. You guys aren't starting into handheld burrito company, are you?
We aren't starting one, but we have definitely talked about like wanting to expand beyond just donuts down in the future, because between me and Max, we've had so much. Me and Max have worked together in the kitchens for, I think, like 5 years or something like that.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And then me and Jason have been good friends for countless years. I can't even keep track anymore. We definitely are trying to expand and bring in new food elements down in the future.
So if people want to follow along, you said Instagram, Facebook. What's the best avenue just to maybe jump in there and order some donuts?
I would say both are pretty fair. I hop between both of them pretty frequently.
Is there just a set price for donuts or anything like that, or does that change?
So the prices themselves, we wanted to keep them as fair as possible. The dozens are $17, the half dozens are $10, and then you can order individual donuts at $2 a piece.
If people want to check it out, they can check out Facebook or Instagram. Also, I guess what most people would probably want to know, what are your individual favorite donuts that you guys make?
Personal favorite? Shoot, I'd have to go with just like the classic glaze. I can never get enough of just like a good glazed donut.
We started doing a chocolate one last week.
Nice.
And I think that one's between that one and we did a mint chocolate chip. I'm a sucker for like mint chocolate chip ice cream. So
one of my favorites, and we haven't done it yet, but we want to. It was when we were in our testing phase of like getting started, and we did a maple bacon one.
Ooh.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, we've definitely gotten a lot of requests for that one. I think we might have to put that one on our next sale. Oh, one more thing that's unique to our donuts is that every sale we do, we glaze a single golden donut, and whoever happens to have that golden donut in their box, they get a free box of donuts on the next sale. So anyone that picks up donuts, be sure to look out for that golden one.
I'm kind of like just getting anxiety thinking about ordering this and hopefully to be part of this 400 donuts thing. Plus now there's a golden ticket. It's like a whole nother venture to this.
It's a great way to reward all these people that come in for us. Is we just throw out a free box every time.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you would like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Locals. Subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We thank you for it.